closet door. I'm here in my studio, aka Board Game Closet. I love this song. I'm worried we use it too much, but it's still a good song. Anyways, before diving into today's nugget of civics, I wanted to thank those of you who have donated to keep this bird in the air. We simply can't make the show without that tried and true public radio standby, listener donations. If you listen to the show and can support it, just go to civics101podcast.org and click donate, or just click the link in our show notes to give a gift in any amount. $5 a month as a sustaining member, it gets you a swanky new Civics 101 face mask. But whatever amount you can give, please know we are going to keep asking people smarter than us to answer your questions about how our country works. Thank you. Thank you. All right, here's the show.
Civics 101 is supported in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Hello, Georgia. Remember me? It's your old buddy, Stephen Colbert. Did you enjoy voting in the 2020 election? Well, congratulations. You have qualified for the chance to vote again.
Georgia will continue to stay in the national spotlight as the balance of power in the Senate could be left to Georgia voters to decide in January.
We did warn you that this year's election would drag on. And boy, we were not wrong. This is Civics 101. I'm Hannah McCarthy.
And I'm Nick Capodice.
And today we're answering a number of listener questions about the state of Georgia. Because in Georgia, the election is very much still going on. Listeners have asked us, how is it that Georgia is electing both U.S. senators in the same year? And if, following the Georgia Senate runoff elections, the Senate is split 50-50, is there actually a majority leader in the Senate?
Right now, the whole world is focused on 2 Senate races in Georgia, even though the rest of us are all done with our elections.
This is Professor Casey Dominguez from the University of San Diego.
Georgia's state laws are an important part of this story.
Of course they are.
So Senator Johnny Isakson retired in 2019 due to health reasons, even though his term in the Senate ran through 2022. So Georgia state law allowed the Republican governor to appoint a temporary replacement until the fall elections of this year, when there was a special election to fill the rest of Senator Isakson's term, which goes for another 2 years.
States get 2 U.S. senators each. Those senators serve 6-year terms, but the terms are staggered. Only 1/3 of the Senate is up for election every year. That way, a state is never electing or re-electing both of its senators at the same time. This year in Georgia, it was incumbent David Perdue's Senate seat that was on the line. He was elected in 2014. But because Georgia had that temporary replacement after Senator Isakson's retirement, that triggered a double Senate election. The governor appointed Kelly Loeffler, and the voters got to decide whether she would serve the rest of the term until 2020, or whether they wanted someone else in that Senate seat.
And the reason we're all still watching Georgia's Senate race? What happened in the Perdue election?
He was running against John Ossoff, who's the Democrat, and the Libertarian candidate in this November's elections got about 2% of the vote, and that held both David Perdue and John Ossoff below 50%. And Georgia state law says that you have to get 50% of the vote, 50% plus 1, in order to win a seat in the Senate. And so that race will go to a runoff because no candidate got 50% of the vote.
A Libertarian spoiler candidate. That is interesting. What about Loeffler's seat?
Because there were more than 2 candidates who ran for that seat, and again, nobody got 50% of that vote, Loeffler, who's the Republican, is also running in a runoff against the Democrat, the Reverend Raphael Warnock.
Now, I know that the current election results have the Senate at a 46-50 split between Democrat and GOP candidates.
And then there are 2 independents in the mix, Senators Bernie Sanders and Angus King, both of whom have tended to vote along Democratic Party lines.
So what happens if the 2 Democratic candidates win in these 2 runoff elections?
Lest we forget, it's the job of the vice president to be president of the Senate and to provide a tie-breaking vote.
If a 50-50 Senate were to be elected on January 5th, if the Democrats won both Georgia Senate seats, then Mike Pence would preside over the Senate until January 20th, when Biden and Harris are sworn in, and then Kamala Harris would preside over the Senate, and the Democrats would, their leader would be the majority leader.
So in other words, if the Democrats win both runoff seats, we'll probably be looking at a democratically controlled Congress.
That does it for today's Ask Civics 101. If you have questions about what's going on now, what might go on in the future, or what on earth just happened 2 days ago in this democracy, we are here for you. Click the button at the top of our homepage to submit your questions at civics101podcast.org.
From PRX.